Hello my friends, welcome to my channel, Discover with Kim. I'm Kim, I'm so excited you're here with me today. Welcome to this week's book chat. This week we are going to be picking out my November TBR together. Let's get into it. Welcome my friends. So, here on this channel, I am very much a mood reader, and because of that, for my November TBR, I'm not going to be using a jar, no kind of prompts, nothing like that. I'm just going to be mood picking my November TBR, and hopefully I'll be able to stick with it that way. Now, in order to give myself a little bit of direction, because my brain is, of course, crazy all the time, I made myself a list of 6 books that I want to pick. So I do have 6 categories, but it's very much controlled by me. There's no fate involved. It was just, I picked my 3 favorite genres, I picked a new book, something miscellaneous that is definitely mood worthy, and then something for me to read in the mornings. So let's pick some books for November. The first category on my list is a romance book. So all of my romance books that I have not read yet are on these 2 shelves right here behind me. These are all standalones. These are all part of a series. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at them a little bit and pick any that get my interest. Okay, so I picked 4 options for my possible romance book. They are The Striker, Made for Each Other, Cash, and 7-Year Itch. So I picked these books because this one I picked because it's a soccer player and a ballerina, which I was both, and then book 2 actually just released this week, so I'm hoping to pick up book 2 soon. So maybe I should read book 1 and then pick up book 2. My next choice was Lynn Painter. I absolutely adore Lynn Painter. She is one of my favorite authors, so I was thinking I haven't read this one. Maybe I need just like to pick me up for this month. This one is a cowboy romance. I have not read any from the series or any by this author, but it just looks so cute and I'm just kind of feeling this vibe. Finally, 7-Year Itch by Amy Dawes. This one I read the first in the series. It was 9-month contract and I really enjoyed it. So should I continue with the series and finish up with the next one I own? So those are our options for romance. I'm thinking since it's the end of the year, I'm really trying to tie up a lot of loose ends and finish up a lot of series. So I don't think I should start a series. So I think that knocks out Cash and The Striker. I do still want to get number 2 from The Striker soon, but I don't think I'm going to be reading that quite yet. That leaves 7-Year Itch and Made for Each Other. I think since I'm trying to finish up series and finish this year strong, we're going to go with 7-Year Itch by Amy Dawes. So this book is the second in the Mountain Men Matchmaker series. Like I said, the first one was 9-month contract, which I found really cute. Now this one is about the brother from the first book. He's the brother of the main male character for the first book, and he is also looking for a woman, but really what he's looking for is a casual +1 to his brother's destination wedding, and he ends up having to be paired with a woman he hates, his sister-in-law's best friend, I believe. Yes, his sister-in-law's best friend. So it's an enemies to, I assume, lovers. It is a forced proximity. It is a destination wedding. It sounds really cute, so I'm actually really excited for this one. Like I said, I ended up loving the first one a lot more than I thought I would, so I think this is a perfect way to start my November TBR. Okay, next up on my list of categories is a mystery book, my second favorite genre, or the second of my favorite genres. No order for my favorite genres, but the second of my favorite genres is mystery thriller novels. So we're going to pick out a mystery thriller for November. So for November, I feel like it needs to be like a cozy mystery thriller, you know? So most of my mystery thrillers are still wrapped up, so that definitely limits my choices. I could pick like a random wrapped one and just add that to my TBR, but I don't feel like I'm doing that. Maybe I'll do that next year. ADHD brain. Anyways, so we have a smaller amount to pick from. Okay, well, this became obvious because this is going to have to be my mystery thriller for November because it's based in November around Thanksgiving. So I feel like there's no other choice. This has to be my mystery thriller. So it is going to be Raspberry Danish Murder by Joanne Fluke. Let me read you the little on top, okay? It says, Thanksgiving has a way of thawing the frostiest hearts in Lake Eden, but that won't be happening for newlywed Hannah Swenson Barton, not after her husband suddenly disappears. It features over a dozen cookie and dessert recipes from the cookie jar. Cute! If you're looking for a cozy mystery thriller for fall, for November, for Thanksgiving time, this might be it, okay? I can't tell you how good it is, but listen to this. Hannah has felt as bitter as November in Minnesota since Ross vanished without a trace and left their marriage in limbo. Still, she throws herself into a banking frenzy for the sake of pumpkin pie and Thanksgiving-themed treats, while endless holiday orders pour into the cookie jar. Hannah even introduces a raspberry Danish pastry to the menu, and PK, her husband's assistant at KCOW-TV, will be one of the first to sample it. But instead of taking a bite, PK, who is driving Ross's car and using his desk at work, is murdered. Was someone plotting against PK all along, or did Ross dodge a deadly dose of sweet revenge? Hannah will have to quickly sift through a cornucopia of clues and suspects to stop a killer from bringing another murder to the table. That sounds so cheesy, and it sounds so cute, and it's just really a mystery thriller. And like I said, it's based around November and Thanksgiving, so this is the only option I had, really. I had no other choice. And then the third of my favorite genres is fantasy and romantasy. So the third book on my November TBR is going to be a fantasy romantasy one. All of my fantasy romantasy books I need to read are on these shelves over here, so let's go take a look. Okay, friends, I've narrowed my choice down to two books, and that is The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst and Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. This one is the second in the Spell Shop series. They're interconnected standalone novels, cozy fantasies. This one, I believe, is just a standalone. It has to do with an alchemical heart, and I believe magic, and perhaps time travel? I don't think time travel. I think just magic, a man who will tell you when you're going to die, and an adventure to find an alchemical heart. That's all I know. This one, our main character, she had been turned into a statue, and she thought that that was basically it for her, but then one day she wakes on a mysterious island that's covered in snow. It's super cold, and there's a bunch of magical greenhouses on this island. Now she's trapped on this island, and there's only one islander there who looks after the greenhouses, and he starts to look after her until she can leave. Basically, that's all I know about it, but I do know that I absolutely adored the Spell Shop, so I have a feeling I'm going to adore this one as well. This is a hard decision. I've been seeing this one everywhere, and I've really been wanting to read it, but I adored the Spell Shop. It's going to be this one. It's going to be The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst, because I love the Spell Shop so much. We're going to try number 2 and see how much I love this one. If it's going to get that same cozy, love, feel-good feelings or not. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, we are trucking along here. So we have 3 books chosen, and we have 3 to go. Next is going to be a new book. So a book that I have bought recently. I have a stack of books right over here that are all the books I have bought recently. So I'm going to take a quick look. I'm going to pull out of them, and then I'm going to pick one of those to read. I took a look, and these are my 3 options. We have A Natural History of Dragons, The Knight and the Moth, For Whom the Bell Tolls. So, quick little synopsis. This one, I believe, our main character is basically just obsessed with dragons, so she does a bunch of research on them and travels around and learns about them, and I think it's about her life. I'm pretty sure that's what this book is about. My camera died, and then I didn't record it, so I just recorded a bunch of stuff that I didn't record. So I believe where we were at was The Knight and the Moth. So The Knight and the Moth is a romantasy fantasy novel. It is about a main character. She is a prophetess, and she basically has to go on a quest with the last known knight, someone who she does not like, in order to get her freedom, I believe. And then For Whom the Bell Tolls, our main character, she is sent to hell, and she decides to make a place for herself, and she decides to make herself the attendant of the help desk. So basically she sits at a help desk and she directs souls where they're supposed to go, and it's supposed to be really funny and really silly, and yeah, so that is For Whom the Bell Tolls, The Knight and the Moth, and A Natural History of Dragons. So between those 3, I thought about it, and I've heard so many good things about The Knight and the Moth, so many good things about The Knight and the Moth, and my sister read it and she loved it, and she's been telling me to read it for months and months and months, and I finally just bought it. But For Whom the Bell Tolls just sounds so funny and so different, and I'm kind of digging this one. I feel like it's kind of perfect. Yes, Halloween is today, so it'll be after Halloween, but still, hell and silliness and all that kind of stuff, that's still very much fall vibes, and it still sounds like it's going to be so fun. It sounds like it's going to be different than the other books I picked already, so yeah, we're going to go with For Whom the Bell Tolls as book number 4, my new book. Okay, on to category number 5, which is a miscellaneous book. So I can pick a book from any genre, I can pick whatever book I want. Basically, I get to mood pick a book and just decide that that's the book I want to read. So I'm gonna look at my TBR shelves here behind me and see what I come up with. Alright, we picked it. We picked another fantasy novel. I'll be honest, I get to mood pick, and I've really been in the mood for fantasy romantasy novels lately, so we're going with a fantasy romantasy novel, and this one sounds so good. It is On Wings of Blood by Briar Boline, so let me tell you a little bit about it. Our female main character, it says, oh, this is the first in the series. It is book 1 in the Bloodwing Academy series. It says, welcome to Bloodwing Academy. Expect magic, expect competition, expect blood. Our female main character, she is half fae, and she is sent to a school of high-blood vampires because apparently she is the last of the dragon riders, or so they tell her because dragons no longer exist. But they send her to this academy because they want to be able to keep an eye on her, and what's even worse is our male main character, Blake. He is cold, he's arrogant, and he is way too gorgeous for his own good. He has been tormenting our female main character since they've met, and now because of some ancient ritual, they are betrothed. Yep, they are betrothed. So, Bloodwing Academy is not just a school, it's a battlefield. High bloods fight for power, and if you're weak, you're dead. It's full of deadly competitions, lies, and a dragon-shaped secret. And all our main character wants to do is basically survive. So I thought that sounded so cute. I thought that sounded so great. And since I got to mood pick this category, I looked at this and I was like, this is what I'm in the mood for. So number 5 on our November TBR is On Wings of Blood because I'm in the mood for fantasy. I'm in the mood for hopefully dragons. They said all the dragons are gone, but like look at this. You can't tell me there's not gonna be dragons. And I'm pretty sure that the pretty version of book 2 comes out in November. So I figured I need to read book 1 to prepare for book 2, right? Right? Alright! It's finally time for my last category, which is a morning book. So I need a morning book to read. When I wake up in the morning, I like to spend a little bit of time reading just to get my brain set and to kind of start my day right without like scrolling or just throwing a bunch of stuff into my brain. But I don't like to read fiction in the morning because then I don't tend to stop. Oops. So, no fiction, but I'm thinking for November, the perfect morning book is What an Owl Knows by Jennifer Ackerman. So this is a nonfiction book. It basically is about owls. I am a huge fan of nature. I'm a huge fan of birds, and I particularly really like owls. So I got this book for my birthday back in April, so like 6 months ago. And I have not read it yet, but I feel like this is the perfect morning book for November because it's like cozy season and owls like to be in the dark, and I don't know, I just feel like it's a perfect book to kind of snuggle down and learn about some nature and some science and some owls and kind of end off the year, like I know it's still November, but like finish off this year by learning something about something I love. So that is my 6th book from my November TBR, my nonfiction morning book, What an Owl Knows. And just like that, my November TBR is old, falling everywhere, and picked for me. So let's go quickly through it, and then I want to know about your November TBR. So I have 7-Year Itch by Amy Dawes, my romance pick. I think you didn't see that. Raspberry Danish Murder by Joanne Fluke, my mystery thriller pick. The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst, my fantasy pick. For Whom the Bell Tolls by Jacia Lynn, my new purchase pick. I'm losing control here, losing track. And then On Wings of Blood by Briar Boline. This is my mood miscellaneous genre pick. And of course, my morning book, What Owls Know by Jennifer Ackerman. And there we have it, my friends. My November TBR is all picked and ready to be read, and I'm so excited about it. So, let me know what you guys are planning to read this November. I would love to hear what your TBR includes, and I'd love to add some more books to my want to buy. So, let me know what you guys are reading this November, what you're reading right now, and let me know if you've read any of the books I picked and what your thoughts were. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so excited for this November. I hope you guys have a fabulous week. Live well, read some books, go discover, my friends. Bye. I can't believe it's already November. There's only 2 months left of the year, and this is my second to last TBR of the year.